think the same way, though, about you as a person and how your brand image is out there. What do people think of when they hear your name? What are the words that are synonymous with your name? And that's a very interesting point. You want to know if the images that you've attached to your name are permeating at all or not. I always talk about my dad and how he was in the real estate business for so long. But one of the things that was attached to him was his blue truck. And the blue truck, since Dad was out there in the community so often, and since he was in real estate, he had his picture and his contact information on the back of the blue truck. But since Dad was out there and had lived in the same community for his entire 65 years and had helped countless people buy their first home, he drove around with that truck for the past 15 years, and you kind of knew when Dad was around. Oh, wait a minute, that's Tom's truck. Oh, Tom's here. Hey, maybe I'll go talk to Tom. Well, the truck started to be synonymous with him. It was not his brand. He was his brand. But the truck started to be something that got attached to him. Well, what do you think of when you think of a blue truck? In this case, a blue Ford Ranger truck with 120,000 miles on it. No matter what you think about the American auto industry, there's a couple things to say about a Ford truck. They're dependable as heck. People drive them forever. And you know what? They'll get the job done. Wait a minute, Dad's brand image and the blue truck were synonymous. They were one and the same. It's amazing how Dad got the job done. You needed to find a house? Dad will help you. Tom will help you. Dependable. He's been here in this town forever. He knows everybody. Everybody knows him. He has no enemies. The list could go on. But as you're developing your own brand image, I want you to find some of the things that you stand for that maybe help represent who you are, can help tell your brand story. And maybe they've been doing that all along and you are just now warming up to that possibility that's out there. It's really funny when people will tell me that they can't put their finger on why the other person that they compete with or somebody else in their industry is getting more business than they are. I always come back to the power of the personal brand and whether you've been able to tell your personal brand story. So when I work with someone on their personal brand story, I will always get them to come back to the name connotation thing. How have you delivered for clients in the past? And what do you think that they would say about you if someone random came up to them and said, give me the lowdown? I'd also encourage you to come up with a mission statement. If you don't have one yet, come up with one now. And the mission statement should very simply clarify why you're in business. It doesn't have to be altruistic. It doesn't have to fall entirely on the profit end of the spectrum either. But you need to clarify why you're in business. Why are you doing this? Once you get the mission statement down, you're probably going to start to learn that you have started to act in a way that will help tell your brand story. So if your mission is to empower others who have struggled with weight loss over the years by sharing stories and coaching to get them to a successful weight. You have now put the finger on your mission, but you've also put the finger on some of the things that can help tell your brand story. So to follow on this example, if you are a weight loss coach and you lost a whole bunch of weight through a combination of diet, exercise, and positive thinking, I'm just going to guess that out there in the community, you're probably seen exercising, seen eating right, and probably somebody that people like to bump into. Hey, how you doing? Gosh, you look happy. Boy, you look great. Why are you always in a good mood? Well, there you go. There's your brand. There's your personal brand in action. Come up with an elevator speech. That's another way to get around this and to understand what it is that will help tell your brand story. By elevator speech, this is what we mean. When they came up with the concept of elevator speech, they thought, well, gee, if you're riding in an elevator with someone, you get on, they get on, they say, hey, how are you? You say, hi, by the way. Now, it doesn't happen like this, of course. You don't bump into someone and start talking to them about your business. But if you did, if you had the opportunity to strike up conversation in an elevator, and they say, what do you do? The elevator speech is 30 seconds or so that will help you tell that story. Well, I'm a weight loss coach. And what I do is empower others to have the same success I did through a combination of diet, exercise, and positive thinking. That's the elevator speech. Is that memorable? Well, of course it is. The idea behind this is that someone who meets you can remember enough nuggets of that to say, you know what, I met a diet and weight loss coach recently, and boy, they've got an interesting story because it's a combination of diet, exercise, and positive thinking, and maybe you should check them out. Your brand story should be created in a fashion that it can be told without you, and it can be told by countless others through a variety of channels and media, so that you don't have to do all the work. But in order to get to the point where that brand story is being told about you, it's got to be told by you, and you've got to start acting in the ways that help bring home what your brand story is. So again, to bring this all full circle, I would recommend that you start asking the question of those that you've worked with, what are the words that they think of when they think of working with you? And get at the positives as well as the negatives. But use those words and come up with a mission statement for yourself. And from that, come up with an elevator speech to tell your story. And as we continue working together here at Total Coach Marketing, we'll help you have a better brand story. But for now, what we want you to do is make sure that you have one. Make sure that your personal brand has a story. And by doing that, you'll be able to really start making some more noise in marketing your coaching practice and getting out there and making things happen.